In the event of a car crash, 3 out of 4 kids are not as secure as they should be because their car seats are not used correctly. But the latch system makes it easier to get it right and to hold your kids tight. Anchor, tether, latch. Learn more at safercar.gov.
Hello and welcome to the award-winning cafe community. We're so glad you can join us tonight. I'm your host, Cheryl Noble. Our program takes a look at people who make a difference in our community, as well as our incredible resources to help us survive, thrive, and have a quality lifestyle. And that includes our remarkable resources for our cultural and performing arts. And tonight, one of the very best. The Music in the Mountains. A bit later, the Vice President and co-founder is here to tell us about the 30th anniversary, as well as the upcoming Summerfest. Also on our program, Citizens for Choice, and they're here to tell us about a valuable, a much-needed healthcare service that they provide for our community. And in just a moment, my first guest, near and dear to my heart, the resource of rescuing puppies. Our furry friends are important residents in our community, and we want to touch on that too. So we're so glad you could be with us. We got a lot going on, and my stagehands are ready to come up with our first guests. This is Hallie and Wyatt, and they've got, oh my gosh, here we go. Thank you. Hello, would you like to introduce yourself? Why don't you introduce...
Wyatt, what are their names?
Well,
Puppy 1 and Puppy 2.
Puppy 1, Puppy 2. This is Kathleen O'Sullivan with Pound Puppy Rescue, and she's here. She's founded the Grass Valley, Nevada City chapter of Pound Puppy Rescue. Welcome to the program, and welcome to all these little kids.
Thanks, Cheryl. These have to be your cutest guests, don't you think?
I can't. There's no denying that. They're certainly the calmest, but they weren't just a few minutes ago. They must have stage fright. That must be it.
Do you have stage fright?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, sweet. Yes. Totally sweet. So you rescue your rescue organization rescues puppies, and these look pretty close to what, 6 weeks or something like that.
They're actually about 8 weeks now.
Okay.
So they're just about ready. They will be adoptable. Thursday, they're getting spayed and neutered, and they get microchipped.
Great.
And they've had their first vaccines, and they've been dewormed. And they get lots of socialization with Hallie and Wyatt and their friends.
Warm TLC. And now, this is all one litter, and there's 5 in there.
Right. We split these up. There were 13 in the litter.
Oh, my gosh.
And the father is supposedly a Mastiff.
Okay.
And the mother is Pit Boxer mix.
Okay. Oh, my gosh.
So it makes them a little harder to adopt because of their size and their breed.
Right.
For every pit out there that gets a good home, 499 end up either euthanized or in bad homes.
Oh.
So it's just, we're really working on trying to get people to spay and neuter their pits. The shelter is full of them.
And you were talking before the program that this is a new service that your group now provides, is the free spay and neuter for their pets.
For low income,
people
that can't afford to spay and neuter, we're trying to, get it before it happens, because there's just, the reality is there's not enough people to go around for all the dogs.
That's true.
And it's really hard to find good homes for the dogs. It's very easy for people to sit in front of Kmart and hand them out, and people go, oh, cute puppy, I'll take one. But they don't realize the training and socialization and You know, the time and patience it takes for a puppy, and if they don't do what's right, they end up with a dog that's bad, and then they don't want it anymore, and it gets hauled off to the shelter.
Yeah.
So we're very
Sad.
rigid in our screening process because we're looking for someone who's going to stay with the dog no matter what.
And that brings to the point about fostering, because they need to get socialized in the meantime, and they
Right.
need care in the meantime. If somebody just wanted a temporary, give them a little love and a home while their forever home is found, what's your criteria?
Fostering's a great option. Ideally, you need to be home during the day, and we supply the X-pens, the food, the vet care, and
okay.
all the fosters have to supply is, well, they get to clean up a lot of pee and poop, but they just love the puppies and give them lots of attention and socialize them. We really encourage our fosters to you know, bring a lot of people in, have their children's friends come over, because the more they're handled at a young age, the better off they are when they grow up. We want them to learn really young. Sometimes we get
Human
puppies.
touch.
Sometimes we get puppies that have been left in someone's backyard, and they don't bring them in until they're like, or they don't try to find any, you know, solution until the puppies are about 12 weeks old. And the socialization window has closed, and those puppies are very fearful because they've just never been handled by humans. And it's really hard to bring them around at that point. We love getting them. We got these at 6 weeks, and that's the best time to get them because we can really handle them a lot.
And who wouldn't want to handle these little love buckets?
They are.
My gosh, a bundle of
And their breath is the best.
puppy breath. Hallie and Wyatt, you want to take these back in there, and then we'll bring 2 others and give them a little camera time in our last couple
And
minutes.
and Cheryl, this is a good example. This puppy's so small, and then they'll bring some that are big, and it's really interesting in the litter how, you know, they can be different sizes, and there can be different fathers, which can make the size different. But a lot of people ask us, you know, well, what kind of puppies are they, and how big or small will they get? And we never really know the answer to that. It's all, one time we had a mama dog that was 55 pounds, and so we thought the puppies would be about that. Well, all the puppies were over 100 pounds.
Oh, my
So they had a big daddy. So
Yeah.
you just never know.
And this is from the
And
same
this is one of
litter.
the same litter.
The same age, but a
But
little
look at the
bit
difference
bigger.
in size.
The difference in
Yeah.
size.
They look like they might have.
Well, this just has a bigger heart and a bigger little bundle of love to love. That's all. So the theory of the paw size, is that something that's of a valid theory? Oh, you look scared.
You know, it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
It's really hard to tell.
grow.
Sometimes they look like they're not going to be big, and they are, and sometimes they look like they're going to be small, whatever. It's really hard to tell.
Flying puppy ears.
But these dogs will probably be, Pits and Mastiff are actually pretty mellow dogs. You know, some of the,
I'm sure.
they'll eat a lot, but some of the high energy dogs like Australian Shepherds, you know, they're high energy, and if you're not really active, you have border collies are real common in this
Yes.
area, then you have a problem on your hands. But these dogs will be very sweet, and you know, if they're socialized properly, they should be fine.
Right.
People tend to not like Pits as much, but
But
they're
when
really a great
mixed,
dog when
you get the best of both, I think. The
yeah,
both
hopefully.
Dogs, so.
But you know, they're like people. You never know what you're going to get.
Everybody, even pets, need socialization
That's
too,
right.
and TLC. That's what the world needs now is love. And if you'd like to foster or you'd like to adopt a pet, puppyrescue.org, and your phone number 274
8079.
9. Okay. Thank you, Kathleen, and thank you, Hallie and Wyatt, for your assistance with the puppies. And I'm sure these guys are going to find some good homes. Yeah. And it's free spay and neuter, very important. Get in touch with them.
Yes, no excuses.
No excuses. Okay. Thank you, Kathleen. And we are going to take our first break to bring up my second guest, so stick around. Hi, I'm with Wendy Riley, who wrote a step-by-step adventures and fundraising guide, and she is here at the Sierra Commons Small Business Fair, and she stopped by Cafe Community Studio to tell us about the guide that she wrote. Hi, Wendy.
Hi, Cheryl. How are you?
I'm well, and
Good.
thank you for stopping by. This is good to know about, a guide for fundraising. We need that.
Thank you. I'm very excited about it. My business is called Catch the Spirit,
Okay.
and it's a step-by-step guide, like you said, on how to put on adventuresome fundraising. And it's modeled after our local hike that we've done for the kids in our area schools.
All right,
It's
that's
been
the Moms?
Moms on the Mountains is what we called it, and it's been running for 16 years. So we've got
see.
some track record.
Yes.
I decided one year to write it down in a book.
Good
So
for
this
you.
book I'm going to put online and hopefully sell it to other communities.
Yeah. Well, your expertise is going to come in handy for a lot of it, and I like the adventures in fundraising.
Definitely.
We have to
Outdoors.
find fun. Well, you're here at the Small Business Fair. What's been a real highlight for you? What are you taking away today?
It's really exciting walking around this building and running into people that I know in the community and people that I didn't know that they were doing certain things that I could actually utilize their services. From social media
That's
to
right.
printing to things that I can use within my business, and it's very exciting to know that's right here in our community.
Yeah, this has been a really
Yeah.
great fair. What has been in your business a good resource that has helped support and keep your business going?
Right off the top of my head, Sierra Commons is, they've put together a course, a 6-week course for igniting your business, and
right.
I'm in that course.
Good for you.
It's been great.
And it is good. It's
been great.
All right. Well, good luck with your guide, and thank you for stopping by today.
Thank you very much.
And welcome back. Our first segment touched on the spay and neuter and how important that was for animals. Well, it's just equally important for humans, too. I was trying to find a really tactful, classy way to segue into Citizens for Choice, which is reproductive health care for our community. How does that work? So it's all good information that you need to know, and I'm very delighted to have them on our program. Elaine Sierra, on my left, she's the Vice President and Director of Public Policy. On her left is Sharon O'Hara. She is the President of Citizens for Choice. Ladies, thank you for coming on. And
Thanks for having us.
you do provide an important, much needed, and we don't have this, it fills a need of reproductive health care in our community. So, Elaine, I'll start with you. What's the history of Citizens for Choice, and a little overview?
Well, Citizens for Choice started with a group of women sitting around a kitchen table that discovered they were really concerned about women's health and about access to reproductive technologies.
Wow.
And they were people from BPW and League of Women Voters, AUW, and they decided to form a coalition to work on these issues.
There's women locally and a
Yes.
couple of organizations locally
That's
that they
right.
belong to.
That's right. And the organization became independent, and now we're a nonprofit. We've been a nonprofit since 2001.
A nonprofit, so the organization has been around for...
More than
29
20 years.
Oh
yeah.
my gosh!
Yes, yeah.
And this local chapter then, since
We're only it.
That's
it's
it.
Not, we're not like Planned Parenthood where we're nationwide or even statewide.
Yeah.
We are
we're
unique.
in our community,
Western Nevada County.
Okay, and one of the very important services you provide is the clinic
Indeed.
for healthcare. So I'll let you, Sharon, talk about that.
Oh, we're so thrilled. We've had a 5-year anniversary.
Yes,
And Elaine
so
was
great.
president in 2006 when the location was found at 120 Richardson.
Okay.
And we partnered with a wonderful group called Women's Health Specialists.
Oh,
They
I see.
started in 1975 as part of the feminist outreach programs that developed after Roe v. Wade, where people were really, women were very concerned about taking back their own health care, being in charge and being in control of their own body.
Right.
And so they began in Chico. And then as time progressed, opened a clinic in Sacramento, Redding, Santa Rosa, and other satellites. And in 2006, Elaine as president and the board found a way to partner, and we've started the clinic.
That is amazing. And where is the funding then? How did the initial startup and to rent the space and get the I would say the practitioner or the nurse, doctor?
Women's health specialist actually operates it, so they provide the staff. They have people that commute to Nevada County from Chico.
Okay,
The
great.
clinic is open 2 days a week now. And from the very beginning, Citizens for Choice found the space, pays for the rent, paid for utilities, does advertising so that the local community is aware of the resource.
And it's free, low cost. It's
Exactly.
affordable.
Yes.
And it's open to everyone. I mean, we don't think about men. I mean, there's...
Indeed, and today there was a man in the waiting room, even as we speak. Well, I imagine
Yeah.
he's gone home by now, but
But that's, their health care is important, their
Very much.
choice, condoms or whatever, for birth control that they choose,
Yeah.
or
We also provide testing for STIs and HIV.
that's very
So
important.
that's very important too.
And teens, and what's the age that you teens can take advantage of the services? Is there?
There's no age restriction.
There isn't. If somebody
younger
needs health care.
younger girls often would come with their mother or parent,
Mm-hmm.
a friend. But whatever, the clinic services people of reproductive age, so
Yeah.
that could include teenagers as well as sometimes we have women in their 50s that might come and need our services.
I was reading up on the state program part of Medicare, Medi-Cal, Medicaid called Family Pact, which many of our clients, the clients of women's health specialists qualify for, and it had something interesting. It said women, men, and teens able to become pregnant or cause a pregnancy. I never thought about it as causing a pregnancy, but according to the law, if you can cause a pregnancy, you can take advantage of Family Pact and be a client at our clinic.
Which pays for the cost.
Exactly.
Okay, and so there's, again, as we've talked before in the first segment, no excuses.
That's right.
And you have a choice, and a great choice. As we're kind of winding down a little bit, I wanted to talk about the information basket that is around at local merchants.
Just happen to have a sample.
There you go. Okay, props, we like those. So.
Well, we like them, especially because we have them all over the county, all the way from Cafe Mecca in Nevada City, down to Valentina's at the Brunswick Basin, and about 25 other locations in between. And one of the highlights of having the baskets, of course, are the ever-popular free condoms, of which we sometimes distribute as many as 30,000 in a calendar year.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's what we say too.
They're-
But, if it does the service and it
Right.
keeps people from contracting STIs or
Right,
make sure that
disease.
they are safe, having safe sex. So the
Right.
famous little green flyers, and in these baskets, besides the popular condoms, we want to make sure that people know about us. So we have our brochure that tells about the Citizens for Choice, and we also want to make sure that we are giving a full range. So we're going to have a brochure for someone to pick up that's about abstinence, about peer pressure, about talking to your partner about sex, whether you're ready or not.
So it's really everything you want to know about sex, but we're afraid to ask. You can pick it up at the information basket.
You can, and you should buy a cup of coffee or something while you're there. But
Yeah,
yes,
and
that's-
browse through it.
Exactly.
Well, looks like, I'm so sorry, our segment went quite quickly, but this is a very great service. Thank you for 5 years of the clinic. Best wishes for more years, and please come back on the program so we can talk a little bit more about.
We'd really love to. We really count on community support.
Yes.
And, this is it. We need the folks out there in Radio Land, TV Land, and NCTV Land.
Yeah,
We're very thankful
very
for your time
good.
today.
Yeah, thank you, Sharon, and thank you, Elaine. And we are going to take our next break to bring up my next guest, so stick around. We'll be right back.
baby, when I call you on a telephone.
Hey, welcome back. My third segment, Music in the Mountains, one of the best opportunities and venues and for cultural performing arts. 30 years now in our community. How lucky and blessed are we? And with me tonight is the Vice President and co-founder. A warm welcome to the program to Terry Brown. Hi.
Hi, Cheryl. Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. This is first for Music in the Mountains, so I'm so glad you could come on the program.
Well, after 30 years, it seemed like about time to do that.
Yes.
I would like to point out that there were lots of us that were founding Music in the Mountains 30 years ago. After all, I was only 12 when that happened.
You got to start early. See?
You have to do the math, you see.
You got me stumped for a second. See, well, good for you for co-founding Music in the Mountains. Look what you started when you were 12 years old.
Feels very good.
Who knew? And it's just a wonderful array of variety of music, something for everyone from classical to the traditional at the 4th of July, which is actually July 3rd performance. So the Summerfest, let's talk about that. We have a few photos to roll in the meantime. I think we've got like 3 or 4, I can't remember, but they'll pop up. But tell us about the Summerfest. That's a 2-week thing starting in a couple weeks.
It does. It starts on June 18th and runs through July 3rd. During that time, we have 7 different concerts. Most of them are indoors, but we have a couple of big outdoor concerts also. Not only the July 3rd that you talked about, but also our on June 25th, we have an exciting concert called the Cirque de la Symphonie.
Yes. Oh, my gosh. If anybody likes Cirque du Soleil performances.
It's very similar. We're not allowed to compare it because they're not the same people, but there are performers from the Russian ballet, circus acts.
There's one.
They'll be, there you go. They're going to actually, you'll be seeing that very couple flying over the top of the orchestra while our artistic director Gregory Voida is conducting away.
Oh, amazing.
Playing great classical music, Bizet, Tchaikovsky, Rimsky-Korsakov, things like that.
Amazing. It's better than Cirque du Soleil, I think. The classical music with it. Okay, then another performance that got my attention was the family event, the family concert that's going to be during the day, but the instrument petting zoo, or pet zoo. Tell me about that.
Well, for a number of years we have done what we called a kinder concert, and we tended to get very, very small kids, and we thought we really wanted to expand this more and make it more of a family concert, so we're calling it the Family Concert this year. And what's going to happen is at 10:30, I believe that's correct, at 10 o'clock, people will show up at the fairgrounds. The grounds will be open. If they want a picnic and such, they can. We're going to have what we're calling an instrument petting zoo. And that's only part of it. What that is there'll be some kids there and folks with their instruments so that people can get up close, personal, listen to it, see how they work and such. That's sort of the petting part of it. But they can also have their picture taken with Mozart. Ooh, maybe do some coloring. Well, Mozart himself may not be. Oh, he may be there.
May be there.
He may be there.
Certainly feel his vibes.
Some coloring activities for the kids and things like that. So a good chance to sort of get things going, and then they'll go inside and the orchestra is going to play a concert. Some selected pieces that we played throughout the festival, because this happens on the second to last day, and there'll be a good chance for some to talk with members of the orchestra and with the conductor about how the instruments work and to look at the different families of instruments. A great learning day.
Absolutely.
It's kind of interesting. I hate to say how many years it's been since I graduated from college with my degree in education, but every year when I go to the kinder concert or the family concert, and I think I know a lot about music, I learn something.
Oh, absolutely amazing. It's so great to be in the field and still learn something. The wonder of music and the magic. And you know, there are so many unique instruments. We're kind of, I think, piano, everybody knows, guitar. And what's this photo that, sorry to interrupt, that we're looking at? Is this?
Oh, it's called the Ribbon Dance. And that guy, I believe that is Elena Tsarkova, who will be here as one of our performers at the Cirque concert.
At the Cirque concert. Okay. Oh, it's just so magical. The other educational component that we were talking before the program was the Young Composers Concert and the programs that you have for young people to
Well,
pursue
actually,
music, I guess.
certainly the most visible part of Music in the Mountains is our concerts because they're publicized and they're out there. But we have a vast should I say, panoply of education activities that we do. We have something called the Brummett Taylor Listening Program. It's in a lot of schools around the community. We do, of course, the family concert I just talked about, a young musicians competition. We send quartets out into the schools, or not only quartets, but music groups to play for them. We bring fourth graders in to listen to our orchestra during the Spring Fest. And then we have a program that is probably pretty unique in all the United States called the Young Composers Program. We have a number of great composers here in our county, and we've worked with them and with the Nevada County Composers Cooperative and put together this program. We have, I think, a little over 20 students in it this year.
Oh, wow.
They're writing music. They write vocal music at the first part of the year from September through January, and then they have to write a piece for an instrumental ensemble, and that will be performed by members of our festival orchestra during the summer festival at the Young Composers Concert. I can tell you, it's amazing when you go to hear what those kids are doing.
Remarkable. So the Young Composers Concert, music that they composed, played by the orchestra.
Yes.
And then they also, like you said, will do smaller performances on their own, like the quartets.
Well, it's members out of the orchestra are playing the quartets, quintets,
see.
trios, and such that the kids have written.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. These are hot off the press numbers.
Oh, God. So now, will the kids, at what level do they get to perform, or get to perform their own music?
Some of the composers, they're all musicians. They all do some performing, but they don't necessarily perform on the concert, although some will. But a lot of them understand that this is a good chance to hear a professional quality, fantastic musician play their piece of music. So rather than them playing it, they want to stand back and hear someone else play it and hear how it really should sound.
That's a great, I hadn't thought of that. You know how it's supposed to sound in your head, or you have an idea, you have a vision, you're hearing it, and then to realize it by professionals.
Well, you know, music, when it's written down, is a bunch of notes on a page, and the composer has an idea, but every time it's performed, the performer puts their own little stamp on it, a little difference, and so that can make a huge difference in what it sounds like.
Oh, absolutely incredible. How much time do we have? Oh, we got we're down at 0. As usual, I'm always out of time. All right, well then, musicinthemountains.org, Summerfest, how incredible. Young Composers Concert, the Cirque, the Instrument Petting Zoo. Terry, thank you so much. I'm sorry it took 30 years to get you guys on. I was only 12 when I started.
Yeah, that's 30 years ago. I was 12. Actually, I'm going to have to keep moving that back. Maybe I was only 6.
Rewind.
Think about it.
Well, thank you so much. Please come on again. Best of luck, and it's going to be a fabulous concert series.
My pleasure. Thank you.
All right. Thanks to my guests tonight, Kathleen O'Sullivan and Elaine Sierra and Sharon O'Hara and Terry Brown. And thank you for joining us. What a great program.
Lay me down by the river. Lay me down slow. Move around me like the water. I'm home and I love it. I'm home where I belong. I'm home and I